In our last episode, we achieved the impossible. We opened a portal between two worlds, selecting an astronaut from one reality and placing them onto the surface of the moon. We acted as digital assemblers, putting the pieces together. But a true masterpiece isn't just assembled, it's craft. It has a signature. It has elements that weren't captured by a camera, but born from pure imagination. So, how do we make that leap? How do we go from combining images to creating from scratch? Today, we pick up the digital paintbrush, the sculptor's chisel, and the architect's drafting kit. Welcome to episode 3. We are about to add your unique artistic voice to our scene. Part 1. The digital paintbrush light, color, and control. Let's start with the most intuitive tool of all, the brush tool. First, to stay organized, let's create a new layer above our astronaut and name it Atmosphere. This is where we will paint our light and stars. Select the brush tool from the toolbar or press B on your keyboard. Now, look to the options bar at the top. The first two settings are the most important, size and hardness. Size is straightforward, it's how big your brush is. But hardness defines your brush's edge. 100% hardness gives you a sharp, crisp line, like a pen. 0% hardness gives you a soft, fuzzy edge, like a puff of spray paint. Now for two settings that often cause confusion, opacity and flow. Let's set our opacity to 20% and our flow to 100%. When I click and drag in one single stroke, the paint is semi-transparent. No matter how many times I go over it in the same stroke, it doesn't get darker. Opacity sets a maximum transparency for the entire stroke. Now let's reverse that. Opacity at 100% and flow at 20%. Think of flow as the rate of paint leaving the can. With a low flow, as I paint back and forth in a single stroke, the color builds up on itself, getting darker and more intense. For our scene, let's create a soft glow around the astronaut's helmet. We'll select a white color, choose a soft brush hardness, and set the opacity to about 30%. On our atmosphere layer, gently click a few times around the helmet. Instantly, our subject has more presence. You can use this same technique with a very small, hard brush to paint a few tiny stars in the dark sky. You are now painting with light. Part 2. The eraser and perfect shapes. The eraser tool hotkey is for more than just fixing mistakes. It's a refinement tool. Our selection of the astronaut in the last episode was good, but let's make it better. Select the astronaut layer. Just like the brush, the eraser has size and hardness settings. By selecting a small, soft-edged eraser, we can gently trace along the edge of our astronaut, removing any harsh pixels and blending him more seamlessly into the lunar landscape. We aren't just erasing, we are sculpting. Now, let's add a touch of graphic design. Photoshop comes with powerful shape tools. Let's select the rectangle tool. In the options bar, we can define the fill the inside color and the stroke the outline. Let's set the fill to have no color and the stroke to be a thin 2-pixel line in a futuristic cyan blue. Create a new layer called HUD. Now, simply click and drag to draw some rectangular frames on the screen. Maybe one in a corner and a smaller one near the astronaut's hand. This immediately gives our image a SCIFI, informational field. These are vector shapes, meaning you can resize them without losing any quality. Part 3. First look at a superpower, the pen tool. We've drawn with the freedom of a brush and the rigidity of a shape tool. But what if you need a perfect custom curve? A flawless line that is neither fully freehand nor a basic geometric shape. For this, professionals use Photoshop's most powerful and precise tool, the pen tool. The pen tool does not draw pixels directly. It creates paths, mathematical lines, and curves guided by anchor points. Think of it less like a pen and more like a scalpel, used for creating incredibly precise selections and custom shapes. Let's see a quick preview. I'll select the pen tool. When I click, I create an anchor point. If I click somewhere else, I create a straight line between the points. But the true power is in the curve. If I click, and this time hold and drag before letting go, I pull out the handles. These are called Bezier handles, and they control the shape of the curve. By clicking and dragging, you can create any custom shape imaginable with perfect smoothness. Once your path is complete, you can right-click and choose to stroke path to trace it with a brush, or make selection to turn it into those familiar marching ants. The pen tool is a deep topic, and we will dedicate a future episode to mastering it. For now, simply know this: when you need ultimate control and precision, the pen tool is your answer. And there we have it. In just a few minutes, we've transformed our scene. We've added atmosphere with the brush tool, refined our work with the eraser, and added graphic flair with the shape tools. We've even had our first glimpse of the incredible pen tool. You have moved beyond simply combining photos and have started to truly create. Now that our scene is fully built and detailed, it is finally time to address the promise from our last episode. In our next session, we dive into the most essential workflow for professionals: adjustment layers and layer masks. We will learn how to make powerful, non-destructive changes to color and light, and blend everything together into a single, breathtaking, and believable reality. If you're ready for that final step toward professional-grade results, ensure you are subscribed to the channel. Please give this video a like if you learned something today. Your support is what makes this series possible. Thank you for watching. The journey continues.